Well, howdy, coders. This is Delightful Dylan on GameKO, and we are playing Citizen Sleeper 2. This is a new game I just saw on Game Pass. I thought I'd give it a download. It's like 1.2, 1.3 gigs. And haven't played Citizen Sleeper 1. We chose the mechanic, operator or the mechanist. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But we didn't actually start the game yet. Wanted to start it right here with you on the channel. So let's jump into this. I'm going to narrate as much as I can before I lose my mind. Playing with keyboard and mouse on PC, for anybody wondering. This is on my new rig with the 4070 RTX. In the moment before waking, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find the pieces of yourself. Usually, these pieces come with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First, your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then, it's context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your breath in zero-G. Then emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it that first instinct. The one that has framed your past 100 cycles. Fear. But familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you're unmoored in space. Your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives. The fear. It is a scrambled, panicked fear. The drowning fear. The falling fear. The fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong. Something is very wrong with you. Wake up, sleeper. The voice is whispered in your ear. An act that makes you suddenly aware of your head, pulsing in pain, your body rigid, tension. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted. One person sleeping until their debt is worked away, their double being made to work, to be consumed, and eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, an emulation, a sleeper, that is what you are. But you escaped. Remember that now. Broke free of your corporate creators. SNARP? In search of a future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden, you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. Oh, look, we can see. Pale eyes in a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear, one you recoil from instinctively. Sorry to interrupt, sharp smirk. But this ends here. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down into your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you purpose. You try to look away, to the corners of your vision, to find something to understand. Your body does not respond. But I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into his pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough. The vial glitters. The object you know and have known for a long time. Stabilizer, the drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid item. Whew, too late for this shit. The liquid roiling in the vial fills you with disgust. Lane pockets the vial, but it would be wasted on you now, after what you have done on this body of yours, to this body of yours. He looks at you with a palpable disgust. Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware that the wires and tubes attached to you, those that were meant to free you from your dependence, from the stabilizer and the control it grants Lane. They are free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It is a voice you know. But when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. Shut him up, Lane barks the command, and you hear the sound of impact, of pain, from somewhere else in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, a twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed. He scans your body with an angry eye. Now you aren't free. You're just broken. I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a joint of reaction. You willed the arm to move, but you have ruined all that. Lane speaks louder, over the sound of your struggle behind him. I will try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it. But your emulation? You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips a thick cable running into the port at the base of your skull. I will burn that out. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling. The cable's plugged into you, looping and wrapping around your limbs. Then you feel a hand steadying you, pulling your cables. You glance around wildly, and you see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. Hey! He waves a hand in your dazed face. We need to move. Lane won't be out long. He unloops a cable from around your wrist. Sleeper? Help me out here. You blink slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over, and you feel his hands on the connector, flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on, come on, come on! He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you are in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows looking out on the impossibly bright screen-filled street beyond. In the corner, you see the dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson baubles. Is that blood? Move! You are wrestled and shoved towards the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you are out in all the brightness, all the movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. Holy shit. Lot of reading. I'm getting a drink. Zevios. What do you guys think so far? Well written? Come to a stop in a dark alley. The one who guided you here paused to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive life support unit and sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember his station runs hot. Something about the power that flows through the place. He looks up and meets your eye. What's going on, Sleeper? He wipes sweat from his forehead, and it floats away in a swarm of spheres. Talk to me! Where are we? Somewhere on the starboard side, not too far from the docks, I hope. You see a concerned frown cross his face. That's not what you meant, is it? He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes and waits for an answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to an image of a station. No, a city, growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells, shadowed by them. You open your eyes. Dark side. The world leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you heard yourself sound it out, you didn't know you didn't even know it was there. He sighs. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes, panic perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand to his temple. The reboot. He's speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupts the process and lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on, that rig can't be far. Holy night. As you are led through the passages and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture and temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages, cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you with the crowds. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. Then Lane, those pale eyes, offering you a glittering vial stabilizer. The promise of supplying more for your work. A deal he locked you in a cage. Into like a cage. There your memory fails you, but in the dark beyond that moment, the residue of panic, of fear remains. You are Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait! Your guide holds up a hand, and you stop your guide using the wall. Glide using the wall. Ahead you see, oh my god, the burps. You see the tunnel opens up into a wide open bay with a few doors leading cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They're watching the rig. He nods towards the docks, and you see one of the doors. He has a couple of figures flanking it, one covered in ornate tattoos and the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Ooh, Lane's guys. Something catches your eye, and you see he is playing with a coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and slips it away. He places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphin, alright? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, he was our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you to break your dependence on stabilizer. He pauses. You know what that is, right? You nod meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete. He sighs and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks back at the docks. I'll lead them away. Get to the docking bridge. The docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that? He searches your face for a sign of recognition. Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you can do this. Seraphin kicks off hard and glides into the docks. Over here, shitheads! He bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. Alright, tutorial. During scenes, you may encounter skill checks, where you can perform certain actions using your skills, like the dice actions you will encounter later. Skill checks can have a positive, neutral, or negative outcome. The better the rating of your skill, the more likely you will succeed on a check. The odds of a success are displayed when you select the check. You can see more info in the guide if you hit the pause menu. Okay, so this one, we got 25% chance for positive, 50% chance for neutral, or we got 50-50. Alright. You shift the central access panel and wrench it open. You scan over the mechanism looking for a weakness. Somewhere nearby, you hear more shouting. You reach in and grab the main latch, straining as you bend it outward. The seal releases and you drag the door halfway open. It screeches in its metal frame as you pull. Go, go! Seraphin flies past you through the doorway into the docking tunnel. You turn to see two guards approaching, fast across the docks, and quickly glide after Seraphin. Seraphin started at the rig door, inputting an entry code. The rig's door scissors open, and you both rush inside. Quickly! Seraphin grabs you by the arm, drags you to the cockpit. The ship's layout is hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seat and straps himself in his own. You see him tap a series of buttons as he does, talking to himself. Come on! The rig's drive rumbles into life, and Seraphin slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. Woo! As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automatic system is nudged by the port and docking protocols. You feel a sense of relief. Seraphin burned hard out of the dark side, and you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belt. But now, with open space, you and Elaine, you feel fresher, more awake. Seraphin breaks the silence. We're good, sleeper. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked the ship countless times when you worked for Lane. Problem is, you don't remember any of it. We made it, he whispers. Oh, we made it, he whispers, closing his eyes and letting out a sigh. He turns and you see a pain look on his face, as if remembered something difficult. Have you said that exact thing in the same situation? He looks at you, chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. Not really, he puffs. Seraphin reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in practical fashion, completing the shutdown. You watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize it's just another thing you forgot. Clunk. Clunk that runs through the wall of the ship is followed by a short progressive alarm tone with the pilot's console. Docking complete. Seraphin kicks off from his seat, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. His hand finds the rails on either side of the door and he pauses, facing the corridor beyond. He turns back to you, backlit in cold cyan. We need a plan. He glances around. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly. He sighs. We need to keep running. Seraphin nods. That's what it feels like, right? That we can never get far enough from that shithead. You see a shiver run through him, and you know that he suffered as much as you did under Lane. Oh, we have bought ourselves some time. He glances through the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the home station. You may not remember the Hexport, but I do, and there are plenty of opportunities here for us. If we can keep our heads down, he turns back the corridor, and that's what we'll do. He pushes off and glides towards the to the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself along, hand over hand, in 0G. We've already emptied the tanks on this thing. He slaps his hand against the ship's inside, so we need to refuel it, and that won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. I'm going to get myself reacquainted. See if I can turn on the old connections. People that might throw us an easy contract. You, he glances back over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble. Low profile, got it. Seraphin stops at the airlock. Stopping the reboot halfway through, he pulls a worn crew jacket from his locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. Jams his arm into his sleeve. I don't want you passing out in. He stops. I'll be fine. Seraphin drops his head, swearing to himself. He grabs another crew jacket and thrusts it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? You take it and slip it on. Thank you. Seraphin nods. He stabs the button to open the door lock. The inner door hisses and Seraphin glides through. Wait for a little bit and then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. He looks at you in your worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. We meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. He surveys your disguise again and shakes his head. This is a shitty idea. He gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly you recognize Seraphin's instinct to look after you. A flash of relationship now lost to the reboot. Catch. Seraphin throws something towards you. Manage to grab the projectiles, and when you open your hand, you see a stack of cryo shits. Shits. Jesus. Those should get you some food. We'll need some more for fuel and supplies. He grimaces. That means odd jobs on the station for both of us. Seraphin kicks off and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, right? As he shouts out, he leaves. Take it slow. And with that, he is gone, leaving the connecting bridge and heading to the Hexport's docking concourse. You wait for a moment in silence. Make a plan, baby. You try to think of what might be coming. You'll need work. That's the first step. But then what? Lane will be coming eventually, and the sooner you can put distance between Hexport, the better. So, plan is rest, resupply, and run. You shake the thought from your head and pull on the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into the port. Holy cow. Tutorial. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector. The game runs in cycles, during which you can perform actions with your dice. Use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies, and items. Progress clocks towards the new scenes and events. I can't speak because there's been too many words. Alright. The docks. Oh, this is fun. Busy way station dock. go here. Alright, in Citizen Sleeper 2, you perform actions by assigning actions to the dice. The higher the dice you assign, the more likely you will succeed in the action. But your dice will be modified by your skill modifier for the action displayed, blah blah blah. Like skill checks, dice actions have 3 outcomes: positive, negative, and neutral. Each action is rated safe, risky, or dangerous based on the outcome it has. Blah blah blah. Okay. Bitty. Ooh, doggy. What do we got over here? Everything's risky. Alright, cool. Chat to crews. There are plenty of crews milling around. That could be a good source of info. Negative outcome. Oh, that's not good. You just progressed a clock. Clocks track progress towards post the cool. Hey, neutral. There we go. Oh, 100%. Positive. Dockside bar. Let's go to the warehouse. Okay. We just give him. Oh, here we go. Buy the money. Ooh. 100%, bro. Bar row. Hey, we paid for our food. This is good. We've done good things. Alright. Ooh, not good. Alright, the rig is home. Had a few negatives there. It's not good. We're in trouble. Sleeper circling into the bunker. Good enough. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor, rear of the ship. You drift out of into the passage, pulling up your clothes and glide, circling silhouette. He stops at the far end, dividing through the side door. Glances, he does. Holding a tangle of thick arm tubes, waving zero engine gear. You know what these are? Nope. These are the engine's feet line seaways in there. Before you ask, no, they are supposed to be waggling loose. These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way to the dark, or out of dark side. We're lucky the reserve tank is empty. It would have been bad. But he pushes the pipe. No feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited. That's the short of it. Gotta fix it. I just been on a run of luck. He turns and starts to gather the tangle feed. We need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing into the crate, so I better track him down. I'll take a look at things. Yeah. Alright, let's get it. for something else. He drops speed lines into the... I've heard word. Lane's on the hunt. He frowns. A message went out. Everyone radiates the dark side. He's looking for us. And... you said it, which is why we need those speed lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution. I don't know. He just looks down. I have no ship fitter. But... while I do, you go hunting and see what turn up. Get go. Fuel lines. Next step. Let's go. Alright. Alright, let's I don't 50-50. I guess we'll roll? I don't fully understand. Son of a bitch. The 50-50. It's like 3 in a row. 50-50s. I lost. I lost the 50-50s. Alright. Positive. Rules of the exchange. Wonderful. Hey, and we made some money. There we go. I did not find any fuel lines, but I've bought fuel? No. Alright, let's see. 50-50, 50-50. Dude, I don't even... Neutral. I'll take neutral, bro. Be gliding across the docking concourse. Hear the noise. Glancing down at alley, see a huddled figure shouting back and forth. Spot one man in the middle. Oh, 50-50, 50. Positive. Let's just run in, baby. I'll take it. Neutral. You barrel down the alley, raising your arms for the impact. As you do, the target turns back to face you. You see flash of an implant across your eyes before you slam into them. Oh, the assailant grabs onto you as you hit them until you spin together in 0 G, kicking and pulling at each other. You manage to get both legs up between you, and kick them off into the metal pipes opposite, and then something hits you from behind, and the whole alley blares as you spin forward, bringing the impact shots. You steady yourself, and a heavy hand falls on your shoulder. Who's this guy? Don't do that again. The man gives you a severe look, shaking his head at your eager attack. One of those scumbags knife you? I don't want to be. I don't want that on me. Man shakes his head. You ain't seen sorry. Just step back, alright? Boom. You watch the man go, and then after a moment, he stops and turns back. He rubs his forehead, looking down at the as he does. What's your deal anyway? He sighs. Maybe you're new here, but Hexport is no place for do-gooders. To get beat up? The man shakes his head. Hexport got real tough. Look, let's not hang around here, alright? The man pats his chest. I'm Femi. He unshoulders one of the bags and pushes it towards you. Make yourself useful. Let's head. You get a strap of the bag over your shoulder and follow him through the docks, gliding past the concourse towards the connecting bridge. He cuts down side passage, looking back to check if you're following. Then he stops at a docking bridge connecting you to a dull green ship with the yellow markings. You look out in the viewing window and it's an odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built from two separate hulls welded together. Symbol crash, he says, as you assume this is the ship's name. Femi, you bringing in strays? Oh, Femi, you bringing in strays? A young woman, brightly dressed and stretching as she glides, drifts into the passage. She glances at you. No offense. Mia. Femi shakes his head. This one. He squeezes your shoulder. Help you fend off some hexports come. Where you're busy sunning yourself. Mia raises an eyebrow. I'm sure you can handle them, big brother. Her glib response hides the flash of concern that passes across her face. You can't tell if Femi noticed. Mia turns to you. Thanks. She smiles sweetly, and I'm sorry for my brother. She shoots him a glance, just in general. Nia, Femi murmurs, enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag that you were carrying. Nia rolls her eyes at you, but stays silent. Factory row wouldn't take these. Femi hefts the bag. I'm gonna load him back up. Maybe we'll find use for him. Turns back to you. Thanks for the assist, sleeper. He nods firmly. Not what I expected. He slaps the button for the bridge door and kicks off along the docking bridge on his way to the symbol crash. Nia looks at you with a raised eyebrow. Oh, my brother was joking. Or did you really help him? Thank you, she says. Back at the ship, my brother needs help more than he admits. She tenses. I don't know if... Smiling tightly. I shouldn't have said anything. She pauses. I want to ask you something. Takes a deep breath and gives you a direct look. She's building up to it. Are you looking for a crew? She just looks away. Sorry to be direct, but if you seem like, well, if you are on Hexport, maybe you're with the crew. She stops herself. I mean, maybe your crew needs a crew. Maybe you're looking for... She struggles to hide her smile. Fuck is this? He's back at the ship. Looks back at the ship, then looks back at you. Look, I'll be honest. Being on a crew with my brother is nice, but he's suffocating me. She frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know? But he still sees me as one. She shrugs. I want to show him that I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you a determined look. What do you say? That is exactly the point. She shakes her head. No, you should not have to ask my brother. Her eyes flare with anger. She catches herself. Sorry. She pauses. I'm a good salvager, alright? You can use me. She smiles. I can spot things, find gaps, weighs in. She folds her arms across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Femi taught me well. She glances back at the ship. Just consider it, alright? Let me prove myself. Suddenly a shout comes from the ship, echoing down the passage. Femi. He makes both of you nervous. Nia looks in his direction. I should go. She pushes off towards the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. Nia gives you one last glance as she departs and disappears into the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. Alright, new local crew available. What's this? What do we got? Switch through, factory row. %er. Fitty. Search the road. Okay. Ooh. Neutral. I'll take neutral. Factory howls. Well, everywhere you look, there's energy and activity for a good reason. Hexport itself is built on the derelict fragments of an old solar reflector. And even the small amount of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power a city of machines. It's familiar to you, of course, in a strange, far-off way, because dark side. That place in your memories, our buddy Hayes, but it's hard to forget. Good. It's hexagonal reflectors, 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport's, and that wild flickering city back to life is, in comparison, Hexport feels provincial. But deep in Factory Row, you could almost be back in Darkside, and then you see them, tubes, just like those that surf and waved in your face. The feed lines. Alright, you slip inside. You let him work, watching as despite his heavy build, he delicately aligns components. After a few moments of observing the process, he turns his head a little towards you. Can I help you? His accent is heavy but unknown to you. Before you can respond, he tracks your eyes to the feed lines of the window. He looks back at you with subtly changed expression. One you can't quite place. He turns with surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands in a cloth. Those sharp eyes scan you. Cardigan's thickest features do not betray the results of his assessment. Custom built those for a client that never collected. He looked at his hand while he speaks, checking for stray oil stains. You have one of the old MEVs then? He sounds out the letters in a way you don't recognize as he speaks. You try to recall anything you know about your ship, but memories elude you. Perhaps Seraphin should have come along. I think so. He squints a little. Right. Look. For a fellow enthusiast like you, he continues in a distinctive monotone and says a few hundred cryo on clean shits. He shoots you a glance at the feed lines. 400, let's say, to be precise. It's expensive, I know. It's a shame, but it's just what they're worth. He screws up his little mouth. Ever more than bartering type. Yeah. There's a little favor I need a crew for, and while you look like you may be a good fit, he tucks in the cloth. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there, very old, pre-collapse. It's tucked away into the dead zone, so nobody has ever really cut it. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols when approached by unfamiliar ships, so it's been left well alone. But a salvager like you, with an old Solheim rig, I bet it wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming. He smiles. I have a special interest, blah, blah. So if I was to find you back here with data in your core in your hold, clean cut and complete, well then I could see my way into doing a straight barter for those feed lines. Simple as that. Alright then. Let's keep this one between us, alright? He half smiles, his face huge and close. It's our deal. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive into your palm. Those coordinates, and then you take a moment to gather yourself, whirring in the air. I'm slowly losing my pace here. Yeah, definitely don't think she's coming with us. Ooh. They say 0G a lot. Yeah, we don't have enough fuel. Let's get it. We're traveling through space, baby. Oof. Oh. Terrible, 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 terrible. Alright. See what we got. I still don't get these fucking dice, man. Three changes to 1. 3. Let's do it. I think 75% chance we don't fuck it up. It was we hit the 25. We're not good at odds, man. Can we just stop with the bad odds, bro? Oh, magic. Fucking magic. Okay. Let's go. Woo. And a cycle. And we're back. This is bad. This is good. Alright. Okay. Let's get it. Fucking negative, dude. Isn't... I might as well be playing XCOM, dude. This is killing me. It's like 75% chance. Failed 3 times in a row. Oh, not the one. Still not the one. Alright. Holy cow, we did it. Crisis. Oh. Breach seal. Oh. We can force lock, or we can... Nah. Dissection. Ooh, doggy. Let's go. Fucking negatives, dude. I feel like, we're gonna blow this ship up. Oh, Jesus. %, positive. That's what I'm talking about. Do that again. Get on this damn ship. 75%. Come on. We did it. We did it. We're on, baby. Alright. Now we gotta... What are we doing? Oh, data. I want this data, baby. We did not bring any supplies, and this is not good. And we don't have any fuel either to get back. I just realized that. We're gonna die out here. Not good. Alright, coders. I think we're gonna call it here. I think we die out here because I didn't bring any supplies. So, I might play it again. Definitely a fun, raw first take. Please let me know if you like it. I'll play more. I'm cool with it. Let me know. That's all I got for tonight. Please check out our other stuff on the channel. Check out our shorts. Like everything. Share it with your friends. Share it with your foes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out some merch. Buy some hats. Buy some sweaters. Do whatever you want. Until next time, I've been Delightful Dylan on GameKO, signing off.